The following episode may contain sensitive content. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome.
To the show must go on. I'm Tracey.
And this is Nikki, and we're here to judge once again.
Our favorite and your favorite.
Thing. Yes. How you doing, friend? What is up?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah. How are you?
I am good as well.
We love that.
I worked 7 days of the week last week.
Oh God, I'm tired already.
Today, my body's saying, baby girl, baby girl.
It's time to take a rest.
Need to chill.
Yeah.
But today's like, quote unquote, my day off. Yeah. I did work this morning, but it was remotely. So, yeah. It was very interesting to feel that. I haven't felt that in a while.
Yeah.
I was like, why am I like sleep? I also didn't have a Celsius. It's so crazy the difference,
Yeah.
between having a Celsius and just a cup of coffee.
I mean,
like, why
Celsius.
am I sleepy?
Yeah.
Because like physically I'm like kind of fine, but sleepy, I'm like, what is going on? And then I was like, it's not 200 milligrams of caffeine. That's what it is.
Right. It's like a Celsius is like 10 cups of coffee.
Damn. No, it's like 4.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was exaggerating.
Well, actually, you might be right. I don't know.
It's a lot,
because if it's
though.
like 25 grams, a cup of coffee, if it's 25 grams, it would be like, what, 4? 8. It would be 8 in a Celsius. So close. you might be onto something there. We gotta do a little calculation, but not today, because I ain't about that life.
Math, forget it.
I love math, though. I was actually good at it. Oh, I got my Botox.
Oh, yes. Looking
Nothing
good.
is moving. I know. give it one more week, and it's going to be beautiful. I went with Andrea. We had a little Botox party on Saturday.
Nice.
And, oh, my God. Andrea, I know you listen, so I just gotta say, I'm very proud of you because you are a chicken shit.
I was saying she doesn't like needles and stuff.
Chair. Yeah, they're pinching you the whole time.
Yeah.
But it takes literally like less than 3 minutes, the whole thing.
Right.
But she, every time, like our injector, Jasmine, she was like, oh, it's like going for a moving target.
Oh gosh, she's probably like,
because she would be like
moving
like
this.
She would do this, and I was like, Andrea, stop moving. And it's like all over the forehead, and it's like around our eyes. I'm like, girl, like you need to stop. And they give us like a stress ball, so you squeeze it, and then they give us a vibration thing, so you put it on your face, so you're distracted. And I was like, oh no, like I didn't know she was this bad, because she had told me, she's like, I'm sweating already, It was only her second time though, so
yeah,
maybe that's why. But or maybe my pain tolerance is very high,
right? Because you've been doing this for like a little bit.
Yeah, I think that was like my 5th or my 4th time. I can't remember. But from the beginning, I feel like if you move, it will hurt more.
Yeah, it's
So
like when you get a shot. Yeah, and they tell you to relax your muscle. Because if you tense up, it hurts more.
She moved everywhere. I was like, I'm like sitting looking at her because she was like, stay here. And you know she has like a cracked elbow.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, can you even squeeze the wall with that arm?
Right.
And she's like, I don't even know, but I'm going to squeeze it. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
The things we do for beauty.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And it's not even for free either. It's painful and it's financial.
And it's expensive, so.
Oh my God. Yay, but no wrinkles.
Yeah.
And soon, no spider veins.
There we go.
Hey, it's just a whole ass process. But yeah,
and
that
we're
was
only
fun.
in our 30s.
Oh God. I just keep thinking, like, even when I do like my routine at night for my face, all my fucking products, I'm like, this is every fucking night for the rest of my life.
Yeah, but when you're
goodness.
80, you're gonna look 60. So
That's what I'm hoping for, because I'm like, I'm hoping this pays off, all this work that I'm doing, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I wanted to talk to you, talking about beauty. Amanda Seyfried looks so fucking good. So I started watching, which I'm so upset about, this series called Bright
River.
Yes. Yes.
Bright Little Rivers, the long riddles.
Something river. So I started watching it last week, which I'm kind of upset because I should have watched that before going to Philly. So I don't know.
Oh, it takes place in Philly?
I don't know if you remember this, Giovanni telling us about this area that is like 15 minutes away from him, that they call it like Zombie Land or Zombie Area.
Yes, yeah.
It's about that.
Oh.
And it's so good.
Okay.
It's very, very good. So, #recommendation station. It is very, very good. I really liked it. Also, I was just thinking that Amanda looks amazing, like beautiful, you know. But the story is really good, and I'm sure I didn't look up anything. I finished it already. I devoured it. It was like 8 episodes. I just inhaled them. Okay. But I didn't look up anything about it, but I'm sure it's probably inspired.
It's based off of a
true
book.
Events. Oh, okay. Okay, but that book has to be inspired in, because what Giovanni showed me in Philly, like in the pictures when he was like, look at, did he show you?
Yes.
It's exactly like that in the TV show. Like, they did a very, very good job, you know, showing what Kensington looks like.
Right. Yeah, because he was talking about the unhoused population and how the, like, mayor or whatever was just like, you're just gonna move out and we're gonna, gentrify this area. So it's like, you're just moving them to another place. Yeah. But you're not doing anything about it.
Yeah. So they explain a lot of it. Of that whole situation. It's very, very good. It's about sex workers, you know, the whole thing. It's I really, really liked it. And let me see, I think I watched something else aside of what we're discussing today. I watched
Are you up to date with The Pit?
Fuck yes, I watched it yesterday.
Okay. So good.
Tracy.
It's such a good show. It really is.
It's such a good show, but also, like, I was thinking that ER room looked like a massacre. Like, it was so sad. You know, there was so much blood. You know, and to think that us as humanity have to prepare for shit like this. It was a very, very heartbreaking, but the acting, beautiful. The direction, beautiful. Oh, So well done. So well done. I'm excited to see because I think 3 episodes left.
Something
13,
like that.
14, 15. Yes.
I want more, but yeah.
I know. I'm going to try to be happy because 15 is more than what we usually get.
It's not, it's not bad. So, yep, you're right. I can't be greedy.
And they got renewed already, so I'm sure they're oh yeah. They got renewed for season 2, and I'm sure they're already on in production.
Okay.
So, they have to be. Yeah. If they want to like release by next year, January, probably. Also, it's Emmy season coming up. They're probably going to get nominated.
Yeah.
Or I hope so. Oh, God. Okay, so talking about... wait, did you catch up on White Lotus? Not yet? Okay. No. Well, this past episode, the way I gasped, like, 5 times... I was like,
okay, I'm going to watch it this week.
Oh my God. I did not. I mean, I had a feeling, but when you don't think they're going to go there, but they do?
Unfortunately, I'm on social media, so I think I have an idea of what has transpired, so...
Okay, well, now you have to watch it.
But now I have to watch it, and hopefully it hasn't given everything away. Like, I was trying, anytime I saw, White Lotus stuff, I was like, no, scroll away.
Well, there's a lot of memes, too.
Like, yeah, I know.
But the slow build-up with White Lotus is always worth it, you know? Because this past episode, I was shocked the whole time. I was like... Well, the whole time. It's really, really good. I wonder if they'll do another season after this one.
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, it's like, how long do you ride the high before it's like...
Yeah, because this one is about religion. I think the one before was about money. Mm-hmm. And the other one was about identity, something like that. Sex. Or sex. Mm-hmm. They've all had a theme, so... Right. We'll see. But it's very very good. And the actors, obviously, are fucking
I've seen the cast, and, I love so many of them. Walter Goggins, Parker Posey,
The way she talks in this show
I'm so excited.
Oh, God, it's so good.
Yeah, the guy who plays Lucius Malfoy in the Harry Potter movies. What the fuck is his name?
Excellent.
Isaac.
In the show.
Oh, fuck. Okay. I love him. He's British. British actors are some of the best.
This is our segue right here. You just said it.
I know.
This is our segue. But we're talking about British actors, guys. Tracey just nailed it right there. Right, you just hit it right where it needed to be hit. God, we are discussing today probably the best show I've ever seen. It's it's kind of on top with Baby Reindeer, which is also British.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God. But we are discussing today, please fix it if I've pronounced it wrong, but it's Adolescence. And it is a British crime drama, and is a mini-series created by Jack Thorne and Stephen Graham. And Stephen Graham is also in the show, and it centers on a 13-year-old schoolboy named Jamie Miller, who is arrested for the murder of a girl in his high school. And let me see. Yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna say the rest because I don't want to give away anything right away. I want to build up to what's coming.
We'll go episode by episode, right?
Yes, so. I think we should.
I mean, there's only 4. That's what was so great. 4.
I already said it. I think it's one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. It's a quote unquote fresh story because we've seen these stories before, but we've seen them kind of in real life, and we never see how much it affects the families and everyone around this situation.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed this from I in 4 minutes in, I was hooked completely.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm here and I don't want to do anything else. The moment I was hooked, I put my phone, turn it down, face down, and put it away because I was like, I don't want any distractions. It's beautifully directed in a way that I never thought it was actually possible. I kept waiting for it to be cut, and it was never cut. It was one take each episode. One shot, because I'm sure it took a few takes.
No.
Well, I know the episode 1 was the second take. I saw in an interview. What I saw was the second take.
I guess what people should know is that once they said action,
it's the whole episode.
All the way through.
Yeah.
So it's like if they said cut, we're going to start over again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I also think that knowing that while I'm watching it made me even respect it more. You know,
how hard that is.
Oh my God, you know, they haven't stopped.
Yeah.
You know, it just keeps going.
Yeah.
And the Stephen Graham, the father, it's just like everyone, the actors were amazing, but their acting choices were amazing as well. The direction was really well. The story was really well told. I had no notes in the show. It was perfection in my eyes. What about you?
I agree with everything that you just said. I mean, I think also what's so good about it is that it's relevant.
Very
relevant. Know, like this is the shit that is happening. And it's not just, like, I know this takes place in England.
Yeah.
But it could apply to the U.S. It could apply to like a lot of other countries and the youth. Because technology, social media is everywhere. Pressure with, you know, boys and you know, toxic masculinity and, you know, all those things that we'll go into. But it's just like super relevant, and I love the one take through because it made it so realistic. It was like in the living every minute. Yes, we're with them. We're in the moment. The anxiety of everything happening. So I am just so impressed with everyone.
So impressive.
You know, like you have to be good, because you could tell that there are probably moments where someone like didn't say the line correctly or like improv'd a little something, but it works because then it does make that moment even more organic.
I think because I saw an interview, it was very short, and somebody asked like, hey, like, what do you do if someone fucks up a line? And Steven said, we just keep going, you know, and we'll do another take if needed, you know. And I think for me, what's beautiful about it is that you have to trust your actors so much. Because if it's a tech one, okay, you know, that kind of shit happens. You know, it's more like, you know, lights, and, you know, the camera wasn't in the right place, and, you know. Right. But, you know, to trust your actors that even if they're improvising, they're not gonna mess up the story. And then I also think, like, if I was an actress and I would have been chosen for this, I would have been shitting myself.
It's so much pressure.
So much pressure. But I wanted to keep looking like more behind the scenes, but I was like, no, I'm just gonna wait for Tracy's fun facts, because I was so fucking intrigued to see. There were so many parts that I was like, how did they do that? Like, how do they go from like the house to a car, in like one, like how are they? So I was like, I'm just gonna wait. She might have some information about that.
I didn't put this in fun facts, but I did read. I mean, it was so much rehearsal. And
I heard that they did rehearse like choreography, kind of.
And like the camera people was all choreographed. Like some of them were dressed as extras. Oh. So that it was like they fit in, or if like you hand off a camera and they have to move, like they blend in, that sort of thing.
So genius.
Right. Which is also another reason why it's like you just... the actors are amazing, but the people behind the scenes, like all the camera people and everything, like they worked so hard too. So it was really like a team effort for this show.
That's
insane. And the work shows, because it was great.
Yeah, I see this show as a masterpiece. I don't say that often. I just think it's like a piece, like a beautiful piece of art, because it's what you said. It wasn't just like the act, it was like the whole team, everyone there, lighting, photography, camera crew, production, director, actress. They had to work together so well for it to come out like this. Yeah,
it was sort of like watching live theater.
Yeah, like it felt like a play.
We
were in a play. But we were in a room following them.
Right, exactly. Yeah. No, it was brilliant.
So good. So do you want to talk a little bit about the first episode?
Yes.
Which is called...
It's just episode 1.
It's episode 1, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a name.
So... the first episode we see at the very beginning, it's like the lead inspector, and he's basically like, okay, here's our plan, here's what we're gonna do, and then all of a sudden you see the cop cars pull up, they batter down a door, they run inside, get down on the ground, like immediate chaos.
Yes,
which I think is what throws you in, and everyone's like, what's going on? And they're like, we're here to...
I looked at the time, it was like the 4-minute mark.
Yeah,
you're
perfect.
Sucked in.
You're sucked in right away.
Yeah.
So basically, they're there. The cops are there to arrest 13-year-old Jamie Miller on suspicion of killing someone.
Of murder of a girl.
Right. Yes. So, I mean, geez. And then it just follows you. Jamie into the vehicle, to the station.
From the moment they pick him up all the way, you see the chaos, because they do destroy the home, which, by the way, how do we see that at the same time of seeing everything and everything in like one take? I still don't know how they fucking did that. And then that camera or what that take goes into the car, with Jamie.
Right.
And they take them to the station. Which, when they took him in, Trace, I thought he was innocent. When he was like before the tape, I thought he was innocent, because his demeanor was very innocent. It felt to me that he was very, humble, like, I didn't do it, And so I thought for, I guess, like the first half of that episode, I can't remember when they showed the tape.
I was like 45 minutes in. Like, it wasn't until like
all
almost
that
the end.
time I was thinking, this kid is innocent, because, you and I usually know that when it comes to like true crime, there's always something at home, like something with a parent usually, or I don't know, or like some like trauma from before. I didn't think of this case in particular, because, and it's true, it's what you said earlier, that You know, it's a trendy thing. It's what happens nowadays. You know, because of the social media access, the podcasts that we listen to, the way that teenagers isolate now because they get everything from that. You know, so yeah.
I was torn with like whether he was innocent or not. I could see what you're saying with the innocence, like him saying, I didn't do it. Like he pissed his pants when the cops came in, you know, like that's very much like he's scared. So you want to think, yeah, he's 13, so he's still kind of a kid. Like how could he kill someone?
And he has a baby face.
He does, which is funny because he's like 15 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know.
I believed like it full on
poopsie.
that he was 13. Yeah.
Yeah. But then I was like, I'm sorry. I just have no trust in people with how many podcasts we've listened to and things that we've watched. And we hear about child murders or murderers, like kids who family annihilators. I mean, look at all these school shootings that happen. They're usually younger people. So like, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, but I also kept thinking, you know, the way the parents were talking. Right. You know, I was like, oh, like this seems like a normal household, you know.
Right. And the sister went too. They all went to the station. It's like they're there for him. They love him. Yeah. You could tell that it's a strong family unit. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I believed him. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And when the attorney, that the solicitor was saying, it seems like they have like a pretty strong evidence. We just have to see what it is, and then we'll move on from there, you know. Right. And I was like, what kind of evidence are they gonna have that it's like saying? But it's like a full-on camera.
Right.
The moment he said CCTV, I was like, oh my God.
And, like, that's always such a big thing in Britain. Like, anytime you watch these British procedurals, it's always CCTV, which is, like, I know we have cameras here in the States, but I feel like it's not to that level that it should be. And I feel like if we had a little bit more, less crime would probably happen. Or even if it did, then people wouldn't get away with it. So, it is a good thing. But, what was I going to say? Old fart brain.
Well, also you know what also made me be like, oh, he might be innocent. It was like, you know, when they strip searched him, how vulnerable that is, you know, and his dad being like, please don't do this, you know.
He's just a kid. I remember what I was going to say. That the time frame that they said that this had happened the night before at like 10:30, and they break into the house. They show you what time it is that it's like 6:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
So in like 8 hours, they have all these pictures, they have video, they have social media stuff. Like they can bind all this evidence against him in a really short amount of time.
Yeah. Well, because I also feel like, you know, that happens, and then they probably, I'm not sure, maybe they saw the camera footage first, and then when they see, you know, the 3 kids, then you have to like, you talk to, my only concern was how did the kids find out so fast? You know, but I kept thinking, you know, after they saw that, they had to look up who the kid was, and then like after that they probably go to the social medias, you know, and the comments and the pictures that are posted and all this stuff, and trying to figure out the emojis.
Oh my God, I felt so old.
I know. I was like, wait, what does that mean again? I was like, what is incel? I had no fucking idea.
Yeah. Well,
but that would be on episode 2. But in episode 1, you know, they do show us that evidence, and it's just heartbreaking, because that was how do they call it, like an overkill, or
yeah,
when you're angry, very angry, you know.
What, she was stabbed like 7 times.
7 times.
All
and
over her body.
He just kept denying it. And it's like, you just saw it. You did that.
Right.
You know? He was like, I didn't do it. I'm like, then who did it?
Right.
Because that's you. You know? And to see his dad being like completely devastated.
Like, he couldn't believe that was his son who would do something like that. Which, I mean, being an adult now, like, I know we don't have kids, but just, I don't know if you felt like this, that from his point of view, to feel like you had failed as a parent. The devastation.
And it's the questioning, like, what did I do wrong?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, that's devastating. Because, I mean, the further we go on, like, you see, like, they're doing the best that they can. You know? And they seem like good parents.
Oh, God.
So.
And, you know, there was something failing in that kid's brain when the solicitor is like, let's take a break before they show us the CCTV. And he's like, no. And the dad is like, no, it's fine. Because it's like blind trust. This is my son. I know he wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And then to have that, like a fucking slap on the face.
Right.
Oh my God. Wow.
Terrible. Yeah, so that first whole episode is at the police station.
Yeah.
And then episode
2 is basically
at the
3
school
days after the murder at the school.
That's such a good episode.
How the news spread so fast is what had me shocked, because this is so delicate.
Yeah.
You know? I felt like that was so... like, that's something you keep quiet because it's kids until you figure out, and then the parents should explain the kids in a way that the kids would understand. I don't know. It gave me such a, like, ugh.
Right.
Like,
but
I
also,
feel so
like,
icky about it.
But now when you think about it, it's like they're 13, 14, 15 years old. Like, kids nowadays, they are growing up so much faster. They're exposed to more things. So it's like
so true.
They are innocent only up until, I'd say, like 10 nowadays.
Oh my God,
and
that's
I
so
know.
sad.
And then after that, it's like,
Yeah.
you know,
that breaks my heart.
It really is. But I feel like that is why they're just, like, talking about it.
And then, you know, we see them go in, and I don't know if you were shocked by this too, Trace, but the behavior of all the kids, it was so chaotic.
And I wasn't surprised.
I kept thinking also, you know, that age.
They're a nightmare anyway.
They're a nightmare, yeah. Because we didn't see really small kids there.
No.
It was that, you know, what's it called?
It's like middle school.
Middle school. Oof. Middle school and then going up to high school. Ugh,
The worst.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
All
seeing
the
that behavior,
bullying.
The bullying, the phones, put your fucking phone away.
I mean, telling teachers to shut up.
Oh my God.
Like, no fucking way would that have happened when we were growing up.
Hell no. And you know, when he was, when the detective kids was on the cafeteria and they just kept putting the trash on his tray.
Yeah, I know. I felt so bad for him.
Very upsetting.
Yeah.
My
I was
God.
like, that poor kid. And I'm like, is it because they know his dad is a cop? Because at one point when he walks in the room and some kid goes, like pig, which is like another name for a cop.
Oh, you see, I didn't know that.
Oh. I mean, that's how I interpreted it. So
you're probably right. I had no idea because I asked myself, I was like, why is he doing that?
Yeah.
Also,
oink, oink,
oh my
pig.
God, I wanted to slap that kid on the face so bad.
Most of them, I would like to give them a good slap. And the boys, mostly. Like, the girls weren't so bad.
Yeah.
You know, it was the fucking boys. But
we do see Katie's best friend, you know, being very upset at this whole situation. So much that she also blames Ryan.
Beats the shit out of him when they had that fire alarm.
She really did. She really did.
But
I'm like, get that anger out. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of deserved it.
Yep.
So, like, he's part of the reason that her best friend is dead.
Yeah, it was his fucking knife.
Yeah.
You know, and I kept thinking also, like, how does this conversation go between two 13-year-olds being like, I have a knife here, put it in your pocket or whatever, or have it in your hand.
Or, like, why would you even grab a kitchen knife from your house to bring with you to hang out?
Yeah. No. Mm-mm.
Like, unless they had already
planned
talked about doing it, and we just never learned that. Like, it's just sort of...
That's what I'm saying. I feel like Ryan...
insinuated.
Yeah. Either that or I don't know.
Because they never talked to the other friend, Tommy.
No, because the dad knew that they are accomplices. They probably saw it. Mm-hmm. That's what I kept thinking. They saw it, and, you know, once you see it and you don't say anything, you're an accomplice. So I think the dad of that other kid was trying very hard to protect him, you know, by being like, do not speak.
Right.
You know. But this is the episode where we learn what incel is, which means that they're gonna die a virgin. Right? That's what I understood from it. And how much there was like cyberbullying against him. They call him incel, and then there was another one.
Because they talk about Andrew Tate.
Oh, get asked.
Yeah, and
Gross.
like misogyny.
Yeah.
So like that gets brought up.
Yeah.
And then the thing with the emojis where the son Adam is like, Dad, I need to talk to you, and he's like, do you know what this dynamite means? And I was like, yeah, that something's gonna blow up. It's like not what that meant at all.
Dude, do you know when I'm like drop that bomb, say the truth.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
The hearts, purple is horny, yellow is this, red is... I was like, I just always put a red heart.
Yeah. You're like, that probably made me a lesbian one day.
Probably, yeah. Like, I don't know any of this lingo.
Yeah, me either.
So like neither did the cop. He was like us. He was like, I didn't know any of this. So thanks for bringing it to my attention, because
it was very important.
That absolutely helped sort of compile a motive.
Yeah.
You know, because that was the only thing.
I also feel like there's so many like guidelines now on social media. You can't say anything that's going to insult anybody, because the apps or the websites are going to register it, and they're going to delete it or block you. So I guess that's why they use emojis. But also, if you think about it, these are kids that are also listening to Andrew Tate, which is a fucking criminal. You know, it's like, hey, let me listen to this guy. He knows what he's talking about. And it's like, no. Yeah. Him being a rapist doesn't say anything to you. Doesn't matter, you know. Yeah. There's some good parts of him. Jesus fucking Christ.
No. But it's like you have like young impressionable boys who that's who they're idolizing, you know. Yeah. So it's like parents can only do so much. I think that's also like the theme too. Is there's a lot of outside influence now.
Yeah, like it's like the stimulation from a lot of places, like from outside, from school, from social media. Right. Yeah.
And just like the whole popularity thing and like trying to fit in. And I was like, oh my gosh, I am so glad that I'm not in school now.
I know. What the fuck?
Kids are so cruel.
I don't know how school is now, but I can tell you with my niece, she had like a few moments in high school, but I don't think it was never to this extent. Mm-hmm. You know, like it was never this bad.
Right.
You know, like if something icky would happen, parents were involved right away. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I just see stuff on TikTok. You know, teachers being like, this is what's happening. And like, you know, you read things too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I kind of believe that this might be slightly exaggerated.
Oh, no, I don't think so. I think this is exactly how it is.
Yeah.
I also think like the culture depends a lot because having my 13-year-old kid at 10 p.m. on the streets, are you...
my God. Yes, thank you. That was my thing. I was like, why are they out past 9 is too late? They should be home by 7:30 at the latest.
The latest. And dinner already happened. You're showering, you're going to bed. Mm-hmm. Like, with no phones.
Yeah. Or computer.
You know how dangerous it is? Any kind of access at nighttime to a kid? Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah.
No.
I know. And it's like, you think you keep your child safe, but there's so many online predators too. Like they are on like a crossword game and there's like some perv messaging them pretending that they're a kid.
Yeah.
You know, you just don't know.
And the thing is, like, it's inevitable. They're going to have phones. Like, it's how people do things now.
Yeah.
But you can find ways, you know. It's like, by this time, you give me your phone. You're done with it.
Yeah.
No more computer access until tomorrow's a new day. Period.
Right.
Yeah, so when I saw the times too, I was like, why was he out that late? You know?
Yeah. Thank you. I forgot about that.
Not saying that would have stopped him from doing what he did.
Right.
But that he's a child.
Yeah, 13 just walking around. No.
And the girl too, and the boy, like all of them.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys doing outside?
At that time.
At that time.
Yeah. Don't go outside ever.
This is for all parents.
Yeah.
Me as a non-parent.
Yeah, don't ever let your children outside. Imprison them in the home.
No. This is what you're going to do. You're going to have them in school, and then you're going to have them in so many extracurricular activities that they're so tired they want to go home.
That's true.
They don't have free time.
Yeah.
You know? And listen, they're learning, they're socializing. It's not going to be a bad thing.
Right.
You know?
And they're doing something good. They're either...
party during the day with them.
Right. Yeah. Or it's like family time. You
know?
Oh
my God.
Or like, yeah, they can be with their friends, but not at 9 p.m., 10 p.m.
Oh, God. It's
during the day. I'll take you bowling.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about episode 3, which was my favorite episode.
That one was good.
That was...
Yeah.
Again, I kept... Because I didn't look up anything before watching it. I kept waiting for cuts, you know?
Yeah.
I think that episode was very, very special because it was very simple when it comes to like staging and you know and how many actors you have and
right.
But as an actor to be in character for that long, it is so insane. And we see her coming in from outside. We see that interaction with that one fucking cup from that juvenile center. Yeah. And who was so creepy, by the way.
I know.
So creepy. And she's like, no, don't tell me what the other psychologist said. Like, I need to create my work.
Be here and do my job, bro. Back off.
Shut the fuck up, dude. And you know, she goes in that room, and you know, she brings his favorite things, and you know, we see Jamie's journey in 1 hour.
I mean, that emotional roller coaster.
Oh my God.
That crazy. He's on.
Do you know that's his first acting job?
Yeah, and that episode, that was the first one. That was his first time on film.
First acting job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The talent.
Yeah.
That you must have. Mm-hmm. To be able to do something like that. He's so precious, like he's gonna go far. And I'm hoping.
Yeah.
In his acting career.
I think so. Yeah.
Wow, so talented. When we see him in the center, I don't know if you felt this, but it was like his demeanor had changed already. You know? Mm-hmm. And I kept thinking, oh, well, it was like 7 months, something like that after. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, he's probably been through a lot in there. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, no. I don't think he's been through a lot in there. It's the way he is. Because it's just the first time we see him talk so much compared to episode 1. Episode 1, he had fewer lines, you know.
He was scared. Right, so we're seeing that like vulnerable side of him, and then now it's like we're seeing that maybe he's not so innocent.
Oh my God, the change on his face.
Yeah, he got in a fight with the kid, which they show the fight on the video.
Yep. And then he's like, "Oh, that was nothing," but then he would like ask her questions, and then he would flip out of nowhere. When she talked to him about his dad, but then also about women.
Yeah. Like, he was really protective of his father and be like, why are you asking me these questions? Like, he works hard. What do you want? Yeah. And then, with the whole thing with, like, do you watch pornography? Like, are you interested in girls? Like, have you done anything with girls? And he was like, do I have to answer this? Why are you asking me?
Yeah, is this allowed? Is this
Yeah. You know? Right. Are you trying to trick me?
Yeah. I don't think I haven't been around 13-year-olds in a long time, but I don't think 13
I hope not. No.
No, I don't think they think like that. I don't think they're thinking, are you tricking me? But who knows? You know, it's what you were saying. They're exposed to all this information now. So I don't know if they actually think like that, you know? Yeah. Or if he's different, you know? Because I don't know if you noticed this, that in one point when she gets really near him, she's asking him something, and he's serious, and then he's like smiling. He's like, "You will like that, huh?" And I was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah. What a creep.
That
a few
was
times.
So creepy, you know, and it's like the change in personality. And I was like, does he have split personalities? Does he have like multiple personalities? You know, is he in complete denial of what he did, or did he think what he did was right? You know, it was so well done because I was so soaked in, but I kept making theories in my head too, you know, trying to understand his brain. And
because I feel like you understand from her point of view why she's asking him these questions.
Yes,
like as an adult, you get it. Like you're seeing that she's asking him questions about his father, doing a profile, and his relationship, his father's relationship with the mother, and how they interact, and like how his grandfather was to his dad, how his grandfather, you know, so like his idea of masculinity. So she's trying to figure out.
She's asking the right questions.
Right.
And she went there 5 times.
That's insane. Like, I wonder if he had ever had those outbursts before, or if it was just in that
That's
particular
what I'm
meeting.
saying. I'm like, did this... And the thing is, like, what we know from him at the beginning is the point of view of the parents, basically what the parents know of him, how they've raised their kids. So we're never thinking this kid is gonna be paranoid or aggressive, which I feel like he was all of that in that room.
I mean, when he like
aggressive,
he's throwing chairs. Yeah, throwing chairs. He's smashing his hot chocolate on the floor. He's getting in the psychiatrist's face. Yeah, and like at one point when he does this thing like at her, and she like sort of flinches, but you tell that like she's trying to keep her shit together. She has to.
Yeah, she's trying very, very hard.
Oh my gosh, like what a fucking little creep.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, and was he like that? Because we don't know how he was with his friends. So was that behavior always there, or he feels like it's okay for me to be like this now that everyone knows what I did, but I'm still in his narcissistic head, he didn't do anything wrong, because he was also thinking, oh, she's gonna give me attention if she's weaker, if people don't like her that much, and I'm the only one that likes her. When he was talking about Katie, the girl, he's like, if she's weak, that's what she asked him. So you think if she was weak, she would have been more available for you? And he was like, yeah,
because he thought he was ugly, and I was like,
well,
I don't know where he got that.
No, I kick it. But, when you're being bullied and you start believing it. He probably believed what they were saying, And I'm not saying what he did was right. But I think that age is so important. It's your self-esteem in that age is a fucking disaster. So whatever people tell you, you're going to believe it.
Yeah. No, you're right. That's true.
So I think because of that, and like the fact that she said to him, I'm not that desperate, the girl.
I think that was like
that
the
just,
trigger.
That just hit him.
Like that bitch is gonna pay.
That's what triggered him. Yeah, 100%.
Boys and their egos. It's like you turn them down and they gotta hit you below the belt, or I guess stab you.
Yeah. And like he had so many outbursts he had
like 3
in the interview, but I kept thinking also, that's how he got like an accidental confession, basically. When he what did he say specifically? Almost at the end of episode 3, he said something about, like, I didn't mean to hurt her or something like that. Kind of like confessing to what he did. And then he said, I didn't mean to say that. I didn't say that.
Right. Like you tricked me again.
Yeah, it was. And then, do you like me? Do you like, are you going to still come visit me? And like, dude, his insecurity and his like emotional immaturity.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, because it's like, I mean, I got bullied a little bit when I was little, and I never had a boyfriend, and guys weren't really interested in me, but my response was to get a sense of humor. Like, grow a fucking fun personality. It wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna lash out and I'm gonna hurt people. Like, that's why
in DR you get bullied by your parents first.
See, they teach you at a young age, so you have a tough skin. Yeah, they
take your weaknesses and they use it as your fucking nickname. They fucking love that shit. I had so many nicknames.
Oh, man.
That when I got to school, I was like super fucking strong. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, like I've heard it before. Oh, ouch, you hurt me. Nope.
Yeah. I'm like, that hurt too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I'm telling you. Me.
Yeah.
Exactly. But then again, like, I don't know, because we're girls.
That is true.
So, But again, that's society then.
Mm-hmm. And also society nowadays.
Yeah.
It's just very different. And I just want to point out the girl, the actress that played Brignani, she did an amazing job.
Good.
Her stillness was beautiful. And I love that they don't tell us, but when she leaves the room after his outburst and she's looking at
cries.
the camera. She cries, but then she's looking at the camera to see what he does. And she figures something out, and I don't know what the fuck it is, and then she goes back in the room.
Right. And her demeanor changes too. She gets a little more aggressive with him.
She gets aggressive. She brings the chair closer to him, you know, and I'm like, I just kept thinking, what did she see that something clicked in her head of how I'm going to talk to him? Because you see her change while the other fucking, the police is fucking talking. Like, dude, shut the fuck up.
I know. Which, I mean, I guess that's also like, this is what they grow up into.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like men who, just like lecherous and, you know, trying to hit on every woman. And,
oh my God.
Like, she's just trying to do her job, man. And so should you. Like, leave her alone.
Get out of the way.
Right.
So annoying. But just at the end of the episode, when they take Jamie out and she stays there, and just like to see her, you know, reaction, her release of emotions. How she was so tense, and then, you know, she took a deep breath in, and it was like almost like choking, and then she cries. That was such a beautiful, genuine reaction, because this is how all of us would act or would feel, you know,
for sure. Right. Well, I think maybe she had that reaction too because she did figure out that he did commit this crime. And that she was in the room with the killer. And, like, especially when he, like, got in her face and was, like, you know, intimidating her.
Yeah.
I mean, he really could have done something to her in that moment.
Yeah.
You know, so I think once he left, it was just such a relief of like, okay, this kid's not near me anymore. Like he's dangerous and he belongs behind bars probably for the rest of his life. Because even if he leaves and goes into society he's going to kill another woman. Like he's the type of kid who's going to turn into a man that beats the shit out of his girlfriend or wife or whatever.
Had no remorse.
Would like domestic violence situations nonstop and would totally escalate. Yeah.
Because I feel like she did ask him, "Do you know what remorse means?" or something like that, or you know what death means. You know, she's dead. She's never coming back. Because she wanted to see, do you know you did something really fucking bad? Yeah. You know, and I think she realized he didn't think that. And there was no remorse. He kept thinking about himself the whole time. He kept thinking the way he was treated, you know.
Right, he's the victim.
He's the victim. He had to do that, you know.
Right. So she probably saw some, like, narcissism and psychopathy. Like, I want to see her report. You know, like, what was her diagnosis?
I want to ask the writers, when you guys had her see the screen that she has to switch, did she see something on the screen specifically?
Because he was just sitting in his chair.
Body language.
Yeah.
That you're like, oh, I know how to get this guy now. You know, I know how to talk to him now. Like, what did you see? I want to know, Tracy.
I know this is one of those shows where it's like I feel like I could watch this again and like
I have to
notice some other things because there's so much happening all at once. So maybe the second time around, like you would be able to pick up on something.
Maybe. But, okay, so we move on to episode 4, which is basically about his parents and his sister. And it's 13 months after the murder. And I guess Jamie had been in that juvenile training center thingy. for that long, and it's his dad's birthday.
Right.
And I don't know if you notice this, you know, when Eddie, the dad, when he gets the letter from Jamie, I kept thinking the symbolism of the letter was a drawing of, you know, Jamie's letter to his dad was a drawing of his dad's face. And his dad saying, like, he was so good at that. And I just kept thinking, I went to Andrew Tate in my head. If he listened to that guy, he probably thought that drawing wasn't masculine. So he stopped doing that completely. Yeah. Because, and he was good at it. He would have probably thrived in it. He, you know, he wouldn't had like this identity, you know, confusion of if he's masculine enough and, you know, all that fucking crap.
Right. Yeah. Or like maybe he was bullied by other kids. Like, oh, you're drawing like that's so gay. Only they probably didn't use that word. Yeah. You're such a knob.
Yeah. Oh, love. My love. Every time they would say love, I was like, the dad specifically. Yeah. So they wake up, it's his birthday, they find the van has been vandalized. Vandalized, which means sexual offender.
Right, nonce. I was like, I don't know what that means. I had to look it up.
Yeah. Well, I'm also glad that I think they explain it. Or no, did I look it up?
I looked it up because I was like, I actually don't know that.
But I feel like they said it like later on. But I just kept thinking too, T, that I was like, why are they saying that? Because the kid wasn't he murdered a child for sure, but he wasn't a sexual offender.
Right, because to me, nonce is just like a slang term for like a pedophile. Yeah. But yeah, it
was very weird to me.
But I guess it's just the act of like you're vandalizing someone's property. Yeah. It is not. It's a negative term. Oh, you know, it's embarrassing, and then. Obviously, this is a working class family. The father owns his own plumbing company. And then even when they go to the hardware store and he asks what he can do to take off the paint because soap and water obviously wasn't going to do it. The employee was like, oh, well, you could do a re-spray job. And he's like, I can't afford that. Yeah. So, like, this is a family that is just, they're just trying to make their way through just regular people, working class, and
also talking about, you know, that other employee saying, oh, like, I'm on your side and all this stuff. It just tells you also how things get, like, the information that when they come to the media and people like go into like conspiracy theories and it's like, oh, that was a lie, that was not true, and all this stuff, and it's like, I'm like, they have no idea that there's a video of the kid doing it,
right? Or even if it was like, she was bullying him, okay, that's not right, but also like that doesn't justify him
it's not
murdering her,
kill nobody, exactly.
So
when he was saying that,
which is, I think, why the dad gets so upset.
The knife going somewhere. He's like, if you're gonna make up a lie, make it realistic at least. And I'm like, dude, his dad saw the video. Right. There's no question on what he did. But God.
Yeah, that I know.
That was so tough. That was so tough. And you know, see him fucking lose his shit, the dad, at the trying to keep it together for so long, and then, you know, he kept trying, it's his birthday, he keeps trying to, you know, ignore all these awful things, and
let's get the day back
my
I love it. I know, it's true, because it's like, okay, we have to try to make things quote unquote normal, you know, because obviously it's not, but like you have to do what you can, and it's like, okay, like this shitty thing happened, but we're going to try to do something about it. Like, let's go to the movies. Let's, go get Chinese food afterwards. Okay, we'll be great. And then, that thing at the pictures. Yes, the pictures.
Like, what the fuck is the pictures? I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And then the whole thing at the hardware store happens. But it's like, this poor family can't go out in public.
They can go out, and it's also the people have no fucking empathy because they already have been through enough with their child in the past 13 months. And now you're also going to treat them like shit, bro. No.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very upsetting.
Right.
Which is why I don't
blame him for
neighbor, the nosy neighbor, the old lady.
Oh, I was gonna say that too, Eileen or whatever. I love when he was like, "Oh, you want to like get a cup of tea, have a slice of cake," when he's like washing the van off, and she's like, "Oh no."
Nosy old bitch.
Nosy old bitch. Yeah, I thought that was funny. But you don't blame him for losing his shit on those kids.
Hell no. I was like,
when he's like, was
follow
it you?
them.
Yeah.
And then, they get that call from Jamie saying that he's going to plead guilty. Mm-hmm. It's the right thing to do,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's like, with everything that's happening, it's like, not with everything. You're fucking guilty.
Right.
Get the help that you need.
I mean, his solicitor was probably like, there's so much evidence against you. Like fucking video, you can't deny it. And it would just be such a waste to have a trial.
Yeah.
So just own up to it. Do your time. Because, I mean, I don't know how
it's
criminal system is in the UK. And him being a minor. Mm-hmm. So who knows if it's like when he's 18, if he can be released, even with like a premeditated murder. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I have no idea either. I keep thinking also that, like, do they get transferred to a new facility after 18? Because I don't think.
I think you go to like a regular prison.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Because you're an adult now.
Yeah, but then we see like their parents in the house. Just have this moment so heartbreaking, and it's them talking to each other, kind of like blaming themselves, and the mom kept saying there was nothing we could do.
Yeah, like
we tried our best.
Good parents. We thought we were keeping him safe. He was in his room. Like what could we have done? But then it's like that's when it's external.
Yeah.
Pressure. And because he's in his room, but he's on the computer.
Yeah. And he, they said something about that he would go in and not say a word and lock himself in.
Right. That the mom would be like, good night, and like no response.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
And then.
But their daughter seemed like a really good kid, so.
Yeah. And raised by the same parents. That's how you know. And then, we see the daughter convince him, like, we're not gonna fucking move. Someone would find out, she's very reasonable. And but then we do see the dad go into Jamie's room at the end. And that, I cried. Because you could see that he kept thinking, I wish I would have done better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know. It's, again, like, you see it from the parents' point of view. Like, they really did the best that they could. And, like, especially, like I said, the dad. He's just, he's a plumber. He's just trying to work hard for his family and give them the best life that they can have. And trying to be there for them. Oh, what was that thing? Oh, I thought that was so interesting when in episode 3, Jamie brings up the whole thing with his dad at the football game, soccer.
Yes. Oh my God.
And then the dad brings it up in the 4th episode. So it's
that full
the same
circle thing.
the same scenario from the different points of view and like how their thought process was during that moment. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love that. I think that's so interesting because
it was very interesting.
Yeah, Jamie's reaction was like, I was never good at sport. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, you know.
When he said he couldn't even look at me. Right.
So it's like I embarrassed my father.
Yeah. And then the point of the view of the dad was like, I didn't want to do that to him.
Right. Like he was ashamed of himself.
Yes.
So he couldn't look at him. It had nothing to do with... But see how that is? Like how things just get so misconstrued and like we're in our own heads about things.
This is why communication is so important.
So important. But that's why like the show is so good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Tracey, no notes, but I know you have fun facts.
I do, yeah. I don't have a ton, but I do have a
whatever
few.
you have, I'm ready because I held myself back.
I know. There's a lot of
look up a lot of shit.
There's a lot of video. I know. I was trying to find things that I hadn't really seen.
Okay.
Okay. So, yes, as we mentioned earlier, Owen Cooper, who plays Jamie Miller, this is his debut acting role.
I cannot fucking believe that.
Yeah, Stephen Graham, who plays the father, Eddie, he also wrote the show. So, super impressive because he's an amazing actor. So, like, to write something that's equally amazing, so talented.
Beautiful.
But he was so impressed at his first audition that he turned to the co-writer, Jack Thorne, when Cooper left the room, and he said, I think that's him. Like, he already knew, which is amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. But the acting skills that Jamie learned only came from attending the Drama Mob theater group once a week, which was co-founded by Coronation Street star Tina O'Brien. And he is next set to appear as young Heathcliff in Wuthering Heights alongside Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi. So it's like he's already
doing the
Wuthering Heights movie.
Yeah, film.
Yeah, yep.
Wow.
So he's already gonna be like in good things. So that's how you know.
Okay, I'm excited for him.
Yeah. So I think he's good. He'll be fine.
Okay.
I already mentioned this, but episode 3 was the first to be shot. So it was the first time that Owen had done anything on set.
That's insane.
So
he was so good in it.
With that being said, there's a part when Jamie yawns and the psychiatrist Briani, I don't know. I don't know how these British people pronounce these things sometimes. Anyway, the psychiatrist, she says, "Am I boring you?" Which was improv. So that's why he smiles. Because that wasn't in the script. So he was like, no. See? So it's shit like that where it's like...
It worked.
It's not in the script, but it totally works. And that's also like... the power of being a good actor is that they can improv. Like that was so on brand with their characters.
Yep.
Yeah. So, good job.
Very interesting.
Every episode had 3 weeks of production time, with the last week being for filming. So because of this, 5 days were allowed for filming the final product, with 2 allowed per day. So episode 1
so 2 takes a day.
So, yes. The balloons. Nikki held up 2 fingers and some balloons came on the screen. Yay! Only 2 days. Balloons.
Yay!
So episode 1 was completed on only the 2nd take.
That's fucking insane.
Which is amazing because you actually are moving locations too.
So much. Yes.
Yeah. And then
those
the other 3
rehearsals were beautiful, probably.
I mean, imagine doing that. And then the other 3 episodes were completed on the last one. So I think for some of them, it was a little bit more. It was like one episode was the 12th take, another episode was the 13th, and then another episode was the 16th.
Okay.
Can't remember which was which. But still, even like 16 takes, doing a whole hour-long episode.
Exhausting.
So exhausting. So even still, I think that's just so admirable.
Yeah.
So the actress who plays Katie, which is the girl who unfortunately gets murdered, which we never really learn about her character, which is so interesting because I know a lot of the time, like, you know, it is about the victim, but in this instance, it's, I think, recognizing what
the family goes through.
What the family goes through, and also what we should be doing to, I guess, like, protect or change the mindset, especially in boys, and misogyny, to prevent this from happening.
I agree. Yeah.
So we never really get to meet her, but her name is Amelia Holiday, and even though she has no lines in the show, we never meet her. She actually is the one who sings the song in the final episode, that Aurora song, Through Your Eyes of a Child. That's her singing. And the director said that once he learned that she could sing, he was like, oh, she has to be in it, because then it's like her presence is felt throughout the whole TV show, and like this is her way of God. So that's pretty cool.
Genius.
Okay. The Adolescence team remained intentional about the story until the very end. Graham and Thorne always hoped to close the series with an in-depth look at the Millers. Not only did Graham want to explore the, quote, ripple effect of this heinous act, but he and Thorne also wanted to disprove any negative assumptions viewers may have had about the family.
Yeah. Yeah, because, like, that's your first go-to, you know?
Right.
You first think of the family. You're like, what did they do wrong?
Right, like he's getting beat or sexually molested or the mom's an alcoholic or whatever, but it's like we don't see any of that.
Wow.
This is interesting. There is a major foreshadowing to Jamie's guilt in the very opening scene of the show. When the police enter... himself? No, but he is in his bed. So when Jamie's in his bed and the police come in, his hand is over a quarter moon on his wallpaper, because, you know, it's like stars and planets.
Yeah.
So there's like a quarter moon, so just like the sliver. And his hand is on the top third of it, which makes it look like he has a knife in his hand.
Wow.
Which it happens so fast that, like, there's no way I even would have seen that. But I guess that's why they only did, like, a little sneak peek. Because I guess that's the thing. They kind of want you to be unsure in the beginning.
Yeah. I was like, maybe he is innocent until the video.
Yeah. Because I guess that's also, like, you want to be in the shoes of the parents, and like especially the father, you know, like you want to be on his side, and then you see actual evidence and you're like, oh shit. So the show is created in response to the sudden increase in violent knife crime in Britain. Like, it's been a really big problem for several years, but
I heard that.
Yeah, so Stephen Graham created the show to just, I guess, maybe shed more light on it, and because it was more in response to the murders of Elaine and Dom and Ava White, which I'm not too familiar with their cases, but I'm assuming this is something similar. But yeah, he just wanted to create a drama exploring the motivation of extreme acts of violence against girls by young boys.
That's insane. That's so good. I'm so glad he did that.
Yeah, which also, it's sad that, like, this is such a problem. Which, I mean, listen, when you think about it, how many murder cases do we hear where it's a man killing a woman?
Yeah, most of them.
Like, way too many. Like, you can name so many men serial killers.
How
many women?
is low for women to men. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And last one. This was filmed mainly in South Kirkby, West Yorkshire, from July to September of 2024. The Miller family house were... the interior shots were not shot at a real house, but it was a set on Production Park and the police station. However, the school scenes were shot at a real school in Sheffield.
Wow.
Yeah, and then some of the show's outdoor shots were filmed in South Elmsale, Wakefield, and in London. So.
I keep thinking about, like, in the school, you know how much they walked?
Up and down those fucking stairs.
Every time that one teacher was like, oh, yeah, come this way and this way. And I was like, how are they doing this? How are they filming this?
The stairs. I mean, and then because they have the outside, they have the fire alarm, and then they're going back in. And and then, wait, we didn't even talk about when the cop chases after Ryan.
Yeah, like, that whole thing. I'm like, who's
movement.
holding that camera?
Yeah, constant movement.
I saw I think I saw a little snippet of, like, how do they do it in the last episode when they're going up the stairs, and it's like a cameraman starts at the bottom, and then there's somebody on the second floor, and he grabs the camera from the top.
Oh my god. That's insane.
Oh my god.
It's a dance.
I'm like, these people choreographed every single movement we saw through this show. Every single thing was planned, you know?
Yeah.
So good. So good.
Amazing.
The Rotten Tomatoes score, you ready?
Yes.
99.
Well deserved. Absolutely.
Yep. Which is perfection.
Yeah.
I literally have no notes for this show. And then the people gave it 72. Shut the fuck up, people.
What?
I'll never understand.
Yeah. Okay.
It might be too smart for them.
Maybe they're fans of Andrew Tate.
Oh, that's true.
They're like MAGA lovers. Like,
they are also the people that probably liked Hitman. Never forget.
Yeah. Oh god.
So bad. And then
Roadhouse.
IMDb. Oh yes. Oh my god. Oh my god. And then IMDb gave it an 8.4, which is pretty high for IMDb.
For IMDb, yeah. They're hard.
Surprises me. Yeah. What's up?
Yeah.
What's up, IMDb? No. Well, as you can see and hear, we gave it 2 thumbs up. That our toes up, all the fingers are up because holy shit, what a great show!
We're just doing jazz hands. Yay!
Peace sign.
Balloons.
Where are they? Hello, I'm giving it to you.
Is it just one?
Probably. I love how you like stopped. Nothing.
Rude.
Get it together.
But
guys,
balloons,
confetti.
confetti.
For the balloons in the camera. Yeah. But yeah, it's.
I would recommend this for everyone. That's the thing too.
Watch it.
Everyone
Trey
should watch it.
After me, he did. God, so good. I don't have much to say. I do want to rewatch it. Because I feel like I want to see more details.
It packs a punch for 4 episodes. So.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Very, very
highly
well
recommend.
Done. Good acting, good writing, good directing. Highly, highly recommend it.
Beautiful.
And that's it for today, guys. Thank you guys for listening. And I also hope you guys watched this and you didn't hear this first. I want you to hear it after, because I know you're going to be screaming while we're talking about it, because you want to say stuff too, like our friend Joe.
True. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, definitely watch it. Hopefully, if you've listened to the end at this point, like you actually watched it.
Yep. That's it. Rate, review, and subscribe. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, everybody. Until next week.
Yes. Goodbye.
Bye.